There are islands so secret, even Google Maps blurs them out. Globe showing Europe, Africa. From royal retreats to AI fortresses, the ultra-rich are building worlds the public will never see. Watch till the end to uncover the truth about the billionaire islands no one is allowed to visit. There are islands so private, even Google Maps blurs them out. No tours, no photos, no trespassing. You can sail for hours across crystal waters, and you'll see nothing. Just a stretch of ocean hiding secrets money can buy. But beneath those blue waves are landing strips, secret villas, underground tunnels, and maybe things we're not supposed to see. Who owns them? Some say tech billionaires. Others whisper about royal families, secret clubs, even entire corporations buying worlds of their own. Today, we'll explore 3 of the most mysterious billionaire islands on Earth, places the public can't visit. One is owned by a tech mogul who built his own airstrip and submarine base. Another is rumored to host secret meetings between royal families and billionaires. And one doesn't officially exist. Yet satellites say otherwise. But here's the question: why hide paradise? What's so valuable that it must stay unseen? Let me show you exactly how this happened. Let's start with a simple truth. Privacy is the last luxury left. A billionaire can buy a yacht, a jet, even a space flight. But privacy? That's harder than ever. Cameras are everywhere. News spreads fast. So what do the ultra-rich do? They buy islands. Entire worlds where they make their own rules. According to Knight Frank's wealth report, private island sales rose by over 300% in the last decade. Since the pandemic, this trend exploded. People with billions wanted escape, not from taxes or fame, but from everyone else. And these aren't just beach huts and palm trees. We're talking about solar grids, submarine garages, private defense systems, and even airstrips hidden in jungles. You might have heard of Richard Branson's Necker Island in the Caribbean, a famous luxury retreat. But the ones we're talking about today, you won't find them on travel blogs or postcards, because some islands are kept intentionally invisible. In the world of elite wealth, there's a new status symbol: seclusion at scale. But here's where it gets strange. Many of these islands aren't just vacation spots, they're strategic hubs. Think about it. If you own an island, you control the borders. You decide who lands. You can store anything, host anyone, and no one can legally enter without permission. That's why world leaders, royal families, and tech tycoons have quietly turned private islands into mini-kingdoms. And some, reportedly, are being used for experiments, private summits, or discreet business meetings that never make the news. Now here's where things get really interesting. Our first stop is deep in the South Pacific, a small island once thought uninhabited. But satellite photos told another story. Suddenly, people noticed new runways, strange concrete structures, solar panels lined like soldiers. This island reportedly belongs to a tech billionaire, one who built the digital world most of us use every day. Sources suggest it could be linked to Silicon Valley's elite, but names are carefully kept off records. Locals in nearby villages say helicopters come and go at night. Supply ships unload without announcements. Here's what insiders claim. The island has its own desalination plant, AI-run security, and a submarine dock used for underwater arrivals. Plot twist: there's no public record of ownership. Instead, it's registered through 3 offshore shell companies, all based in different countries. Why so secret? Because this island reportedly serves as a digital safe zone, a private data haven. Think about that for a second. A place where the world's most valuable information, backups of AI projects, cryptocurrencies, patents, could be stored offline in total isolation. It's genius and a little terrifying. Imagine losing control of the internet, but one person has the backup. The parallels are chilling. Billionaires not just owning the web, but the land that hides it. And this is just one island. But if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear this. In the Indian Ocean lies an island so private that maps show only a blur. It's part of a cluster once controlled by colonial powers. But this one, it's been owned, reportedly, by a European royal family for generations. According to local reports, this island has hosted secret diplomatic gatherings, the kind never announced to the public. Some say world leaders have flown there for meetings off the record. Why? Because it's neutral ground. No press. No paparazzi. No leaks. An investigative journalist once tried to reach the island by chartering a small boat. Before he arrived, he was stopped by private guards. They said the waters were restricted. Satellite scans reveal private villas, helipads, and, interestingly, a long pier that can handle naval ships. So what's happening there? Insiders claim it's a diplomatic retreat where royalty, politicians, and billionaire investors negotiate things far from headlines, like oil deals, charitable trusts, or even humanitarian projects. But others suspect darker motives, secret alliances shaping global power quietly behind the curtain. Still, no evidence proves wrongdoing. Only whispers. What we do know is that some of the most influential families on Earth have been tied to the same region, including names connected to Middle Eastern royalty and European dynasties. Here's what's truly fascinating. This island doesn't just keep people out. It also keeps secrets in. Because in a world of instant news, power now lives in the unseen spaces. But that brings us to something even stranger. This next island? It might not officially exist at all. This brings us to the most shocking discovery of all. In the middle of the North Atlantic, there's an area pilots are told to avoid. No flyovers. No fishing. It's marked as restricted ocean zone. But according to leaked satellite data, faint outlines of structures can be seen beneath the clouds, runways, domes, even a harbor. The problem? No government claims it. No nation lists it. And no records show it ever sold. So who built it? Researchers on forums and open-source intelligence sites began tracking satellite updates. Every few months, new shapes appeared. A runway extended. A dome expanded. Then suddenly, blurred again, but one whistleblower, whose identity remains protected, told an international outlet that this island is being built as a sovereign project, meaning a new kind of private nation. If true, that's historic. A place not bound by any country's laws. Sources suggest the project has ties to tech investors and former government advisors. Their goal? To create a safe zone for innovation. A world where companies can operate beyond restrictions. Imagine billionaires building their own country, invisible to the rest of us. Sounds like science fiction. Until you realize how much money it takes. With $10 billion, you can buy 20 islands. With $100 billion, you can build one. So maybe this phantom island is a glimpse of the future, where the ultra-rich literally create their own worlds. So what does all this mean for us today? On mapping services, some believe it's a private island built from scratch, reclaimed land funded by a secret billionaire consortium. Others think it's used for deep-sea research or AI testing, hidden under the label of environmental zones. This is bigger than privacy or luxury. It's about power geography. When billionaires own islands, they don't just buy land, they buy freedom from systems. Freedom from taxes, from governments, from rules the rest of us live by. And when a few people start owning pieces of the planet, the world quietly reshapes. Here's why it matters. Every island like this becomes a private nation in disguise, with their own energy, transport, and trade. If something happens globally, say economic collapse or war, these owners can simply disconnect. Some call them luxury lifeboats. During the pandemic, demand for private islands skyrocketed. Brokers reported billionaires buying islands not for vacations, but for emergency retreats. They're stocking them with food, fuel, even medical supplies. Some islands have full security teams and private hospitals. And you might think, that's extreme. But to them, it's insurance. Experts at the Global Wealth Institute say that ultra-rich people now invest in resilience assets, things that keep them safe if society collapses. And what's safer than an island no one can reach? But there's another side. Some of these islands are becoming innovation zones, testing places for green energy, AI, or marine conservation. If true, it means not all of this secrecy is sinister. Maybe some billionaires are building prototypes for a better future, where cities run clean, powered by the sea. Still, most of us will never know. Because when power hides, transparency fades. Before we wrap up, there's one final thing you need to know. Remember the Phantom Island? Recently, a small research vessel sailing near that region reported strange signals, encrypted transmissions that lasted only seconds. Experts tried to trace them. They vanished. 2 weeks later, Google Earth quietly blurred that exact area again. Coincidence? Maybe. But what if these billionaire islands aren't just escapes? What if they're experiments? Mini nations testing how power, privacy, and technology mix without limits. And maybe one day those islands will connect, forming a hidden network across the oceans. Think about it. While we argue over borders, billionaires might be redrawing them in silence. There's a saying among island brokers: some people buy privacy, others buy entire worlds. And that's exactly what we're seeing. If this opens your eyes, you'll want to see what comes next. So, let's recap the biggest truths. Billionaires are no longer just buying luxury, they're buying sovereignty. Some islands serve as data fortresses, royal retreats, or even ghost nations. And while most of us scroll past paradise photos, the real power moves happen far beyond the map. If that doesn't change how you see the world, nothing will. Now here's your turn. Would you live on a private island if money wasn't an issue? Or does too much freedom become its own kind of prison? Tell me in the comments. I want to hear your take. And if you love this deep dive, hit that like button, subscribe, and watch our next video. The secret cities billionaires are building in the desert. Because if islands are their kingdoms, deserts might be their new empires. See you there. Water wave.